back to the only show that doesn't believe in the system, man. That's right. If you are a long-time listener, thank you for tuning in. If not, if you are new, this is the Anything Goes Mixed Martial Arts School podcast. The only show where we screw up our titles.
We really do. It's the Anything Goes School of Mixed Martial Arts podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm one of your hosts, Ryuji, and this is my co-host, Zord.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this podcast, oddly enough, we talk about everything besides mixed martial arts. But definitely, if you are a regular member of the show, you would know that we also do not talk about Fortnite.
Because we don't care about Fortnite.
Because rule number one of the Mixed Martial Arts Anything Goes School of Martial Arts podcast is we do not talk about Fortnite.
And apparently we don't get our titles right.
Exactly.
Yeah. All
Buddy
right.
senseis.
That's right. So, what have you been doing this week?
You know what? Ever since it came out, I've been burning through Days Gone.
I have only played a couple hours of it because I'm just going to be streaming it, so I can only play. I'm only playing it when I stream it, and it is really good.
It is surprisingly a good game.
Yep.
I mean, Sony's had 4 or 5 E3 press conferences about it.
Yeah, they have. I will say it does have some issues.
It does.
Mainly, you get a lot of frame droppage whenever you're riding your bike. Sometimes.
Hey, yeah. I thought I was the only person to notice that, but yeah, it dropped to 30 or 24 frames per second sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're in a heavily heavily wooded area.
Mm-hmm. Also,
but it clears up after a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's annoying, but it isn't game breaking. Also, they have a rendering issue in the cutscenes.
Yep.
And they really could have handled the transition between cutscene and gameplay much better than a black screen.
Yep.
Otherwise, I like it. What's going on, Final Slayer? How you doing, man? I've really enjoyed it. I like the story so far. I like the character. Deacon is an asshole. He's like...
Deacon don't give a fuck.
He really doesn't. He's a complete asshole. He's like, how is this my problem? I really don't care.
Hey, how you doing? Get the fuck out of my way.
Deacon, what's going on? Get out of my face before I break your nose. Oh?
Don't touch my bike.
Don't touch my bike. Yes. Don't touch my bike. But I like it. The zombies, or whatever the hell they would be, the freakers, are...
yeah. Rage zombies.
They are, I'm trying to think of a good word. They're not bad. Damn, you get a horde of them on your ass. You just gotta run.
My god, hordes suck.
Yeah, there is no way to handle a horde in that game at all. I mean...
At least not in the early game.
No. If you have some grenades, that'll clear out a lot of them till they're manageable, but early game, it's hard to handle a horde.
Dude, I'm not sure how far you get into it, but there is this one... Eventually you get to the point where you start, unlocking, little campsites or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they happen to belong to, they're government-made campsites with, checkpoints and whatnot.
The Nero sites?
Yeah, those places.
Yeah, I've unlocked 4 of them already.
Yeah, I have too. Did you get to the one that was literally right underneath a horde nest?
Oh yeah, fuck that one.
Fuck
Holy
that one
shit.
indeed.
what you need to do is the way I figured it out is you need a distractor and throw it over. Get the horde following you and try to hide the best you can, but throw a distractor at the fuel tanker that's in the field of dead bodies, and the distractor will actually blow up after a few minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. It did that. But if you do it right and you get them all around the tanker, you just pop the tanker. Pop. And it'll blow them all up. And then, work through the stragglers.
Yeah.
Which is tough.
Very.
But a shotgun usually helps that one out. Bow, bow. Bow.
I probably should have saved up for the shotgun. I instead have a rifle.
Ah. Yeah, see,
I can deal with the other dudes with rifles.
Fair enough. Most of those guys I just hit with the nail bat. I run up to them and just fuck them up.
You get did you get do you use your crossbow at all?
Not really, but I should start using it. I do,
and eventually you start getting special ammo for it.
Yeah, there's an arrow that turns the freakers against each other.
Not just freakers, but human characters too.
Really?
So if you go to like a raiders camp,
yeah,
and you need to clear it out, just craft yourself a couple of those freaker arrows, bolts.
Yeah.
Pop them on like some of the dudes with the stronger guns, and they just start mowing each other out.
Oh hell yeah! See, that was another way I wanted to. I was trying to take care of that horde. Is I used the freaker arrows on the horde, and it helped cut down the numbers.
It does. Doesn't always work though. Sometimes you get RNGesus is not as kind to you.
No, not at all. Not at all. So all around, good game, good investment. I'm enjoying it. I will enjoy the crap out of it. Hopefully
they patch out some of the stuff that we discussed with a few problems.
Hell yeah, I hope they do. And hopefully there's some DLC to it. Expand the world a little bit.
Maybe so. Otherwise, enjoy your The Last of Us sandbox game.
Right? And it's all right. I like Last of Us, and I like this game because it feels like Last of Us. And you get a motorcycle. By the way, which is hysterical to run over things with the motorcycle.
Yeah, if you don't mind trying to repair it every 5 seconds.
Dude, I've repaired my bike a billion times now. My favorite is Dukes of Hazzarding off of things. Like, I need to go around all these bends to get off this cliff. Fuck that noise. Turbo!
Hit the boost.
Hit the ground, get off the bike, repair it, and keep driving. What I do like, though, is if you run out of gas or your bike is broken, you can still move the bike. The bike's not completely useless. Like, if you're out of gas, you can walk your bike to a gas area.
Yeah, you can Flintstone it.
Yep. And they did a relatively good job on gravity. Like, if you go downhill on your bike picks up speed.
Mm-hmm.
So
physics are a thing.
Yeah, they did a good job on that. I appreciate that a lot. I wish the shooting was a little bit better, and there's the focus mode that I need to learn how to use eventually.
Yeah, it's not quite Deadeye in Red Dead Redemption, but it's basically Deadeye.
Nice. So, Thursday, Avengers Endgame came out, and I took Friday off from work and went and saw it. I was like, Days Gone's out, Avengers out. It's a good day to be a nerd. Good day to be a nerd.
Good week to be a nerd.
Right? And I have to say, no spoilers, it's pretty fucking amazing. There was laughing, there was crying, there was more crying, there was lots of laughing, there was even more crying. Lots of crying and laughing, and crying and laughing, and wow. Such a good damn movie. They really stuck the landing for the ending of that movie. and just gave you an amazing adventure. But we're not actually going to go into anything because Tarek hasn't seen it yet. But I'm going to talk about a little bit of the records it's broken. So it's broken multiple.
Of course, it's broken records.
Oh yeah. Like it's not even 5 days, and it's shattered records. Avengers Endgame is breaking all sorts of records, including highest number of trailers viewed in 24 hours, highest ticket pre-sale record, longest MCU running time at 3 hours and 58 seconds. Widest North American release ever, 4,662 theaters.
Wait, you said 3 hours and 58 seconds?
Yes, 3 hours, 58 seconds.
Oh, wait, you said seconds,
not minutes. Yeah, I was just saying, this wasn't almost 4 hours. It could have been.
Holy crap.
Yeah, dude, it's a long movie. Highest grossing Thursday preview, $60 million. Highest opening and single day gross at 156.7 million. Fastest movie to 100, 200, and 300 million. Highest grossing opening weekend domestically at 350 million. That's not even really counting today. Highest grossing worldwide opening at 1.209 billion. Highest grossing opening weekend in China at 330.5 million. And fastest movie to $1 billion worldwide in 5 days. I have a feeling that this is going to dethrone Titanic finally.
It just might. You had a good run, Cameron.
Right? Movie. Let's see. Highest grossing movie of all time. Movies of all time. All right. So, top 20 highest grossing movies of all time. Number 1 is Gone with the Wind, but that's been out since 1939. Number 2 is Star Wars. Number 3, The Sound of Music. Number 4, E.T. Number 5 is Titanic. Number 6 is The Ten Commandments. Number 7 is Jaws. Number 8 is Dr. Zhivago. 9 is The Exorcist. 10 is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. 11 is Star Wars The Force Awakens. 12 is 101 Dalmatians. The original, animated one. 13 is The Empire Strikes Back. 14 is Ben-Hur. 15 is Avatar. 16 is Return of the Jedi. 17 is Jurassic Park. 18 is Phantom Menace. Lion King is 19. And 20 is The Sting. Huh. Interesting. When was this updated? Let's see. Let's hit up old Wikipedia. Worldwide gross... Avatar, Titanic, Force Awakens, Infinity War, Jurassic World, The Avengers, Furious 7, Age of Ultron, Black Panther, Deathly Hallows Part 2, Last Jedi, Fallen Kingdom, Jurassic World, Frozen, Beauty and the Beast, Incredibles 2, Fate of the Furious, Iron Man 3, Avengers Endgame is currently at 18. Minions, Captain America Civil War, Aquaman, Transformers, Lord of the Rings, Captain Marvel, Skyfall, Transformers Age of Extinction. Wow. Aquaman has beat out Captain Marvel. Endgame has only been out for 5 days. And it's beat out everything else except for the top 17.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to destroy all that.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think this is the highest that they're going to get. I do not think that they can release anything that's going to beat out Endgame right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to take quite a bit. I mean, this thing was a long time coming, and
yes.
and it was in the works for quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we've seen what DC tried to do,
and
in
it
trying
failed.
to hurry up and make their own cinematic universe, but they tried to hurry it along, and that failed pretty hard.
Yeah, they didn't establish the characters. They didn't establish the world.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "Here's one character. Now here's the world."
You can't do that.
No,
maybe you can. Maybe you can do that in a book type setting, but even with books, you still have time to develop that one character and that one world.
Mm-hmm.
With movies and film, you gotta spread that shit out. You have to take time to tell a story. And yeah, you don't want folks to be sitting in there hours on end, bored out of their minds, waiting for you to develop why Bruce Wayne is Batman for like the 17th billionth time. But even still,
I will say though that in Batman vs Superman, I don't think they did very much of this is why.
No, we know, all we know is that this is an older Bruce, and this is Bruce after, I want to say it was Jason Todd.
Yeah, it's after Todd and
yeah,
Tim and all that.
Well, they say the Joker killed a Robin.
Yeah,
they didn't say which.
Todd.
Yeah, we have to assume it's Todd.
Yep. I'm really kind of pissed that Netflix canceled the Defenders and all of the Marvel shows, because I'm sitting there going, they had out of all the seasons of both seasons of Luke Cage, the best episode is still the 10th episode in season 2 when Danny shows up.
Yeah.
It was literally, don't get me wrong, I love Bushmaster. He was fucking fantastic. But
he was a good character, and the actor who portrayed him was good.
Yes, but it was nothing like, they couldn't have done any better ever than that episode. And they wrote Danny right.
They finally got him right.
which was like bizarre. I'm sitting here going, why didn't we do this in the original shows? I mean, why are we just now getting this Danny when we should have had him 2 episodes into the first season of Iron Fist?
Why did it take 3 seasons and a couple episodes of a combined movie for them to finally get his character correct?
Right? And even in Defenders, he was a good Danny, but he wasn't the Danny that showed up to the barbershop in Luke Cage. And he was brilliant. Like, they played patty cake, which was even better.
Yay!
I mean, that was hysterical. You know, you get the actual, like, what they should have done in the first place. You know, the kung fu martial arts shots, the wide shots, not these terrible cut shots that we get in fight scenes. Because whoever took a knife to season 1 of Daredevil needs to be just shot. Because that was terrible.
There are ways to do a fight scene if your actors are not trained martial artists.
Yeah.
And then there are ways to just completely butcher up a fight sequence and confuse not only the people that are involved in the scene, but the people who are watching it.
Yeah.
And most of the time we got the latter.
Yeah.
Some people just either need to take notes from some of the better martial arts, or not even martial arts, but action film crews, and take some of their cues, or just hire those crews to film your action scenes, because clearly you can't do it right without some goddamn shaky cam.
Right?
I fucking hate shaky cam.
I do too.
I believe, and shaky cam, and what's another technique that I can't stand? Like the cutaways when people get stabbed or shivved or punched.
So fucking annoying.
Like,
It's just,
come on, dude.
come on.
No implied hits or deaths.
Right? I just, yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. It's frustrating, and we finally got that scene, that actual those two being heroes for hire. You know what I mean?
I was really, really hoping that we would get Heroes for Hire after Luke Cage season 2.
Yes, I don't know why they didn't do it. Because it made the most sense. You had it.
The formula, there. Luke Cage was already decent enough on his own. You finally got the formula down for Danny Rand, aka Iron Fist.
Right.
Just put them together and give us not Defenders, Heroes for Hire. And y'all could have done like a Gangster of the Week kind of situation, and it still would have sold.
It would have sold
overcomplicate
amazingly.
That stuff.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, like you keep saying, superheroes got a superhero. Sometimes just having us watch stuff like that will put butts in seats.
Yes, we'll put views on that. You give us superheroing superheroes, superheroes superheroing, and we are the happiest fucking campers in the world.
Like for instance, because we're gonna be talking about it later, Black Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2, I enjoyed it overall. I will still say that their action scenes need work, but they found their winning formula, I guess. But when they finally got to the point where it was superheroes fighting super villains, I gotta tell you, I finally woke up and paid attention to the scene.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is what we've been waiting for.
Yes. And
sure, you can have superheroes taking on a few jobbers every now and then, but when they finally take on some other dude with powers and going on a full-on rampage fisticuffs bout, this is the stuff the comics were literally made of. Thank you for finally giving it to us. Can I please have some more?
I agree. But the jobber episodes are nice too, because we need them. We need that build up to it, Yeah,
you do need a few jobbers here and there.
Yeah, we need, Black Lightning or Flash stopping a bank robbery, not like a big, this leads to the ultimate supervillain. No, just a bank robbery.
Yeah.
Stop the bank robbery.
Local gang just needs money.
Yep.
And they decided to do a bank robbery. For old fashioned sake. Maybe throw in a hostage situation if you have to. But just let the superheroes superhero. Please.
I agree 100%, kind sir.
I concur.
But yeah. Jupiter's red spot is so loud, the sound waves heat the surrounding atmosphere to nearly 2,400 degrees Fahrenheit.
Really?
Yes. There you go. You now have a fact. Enjoy.
It's your weekly science fact. Enjoy. Dun, dun.
Yeah. Oh man. Otherwise, I've just been working. I'm waiting for the 13th to come so I can start my new job. Trying to figure out what else been going on. That's it. Life's been kind of boring. Work, video games, family time. The important shit. Oh! One Punch Man, Season 2. Have you caught up yet? Have you caught up yet?
Still haven't gotten past the first episode, but I'm now able to watch them because of your assistance, so thank you.
You're welcome. Well, damn. Doom Patrol is probably one of the best freaking comic book TV shows on right now. It's amazing. It is absolutely freaking amazing. I was like, I don't know, and I watched the first couple episodes, and then I gave it a rest and waited for a couple more episodes to build up, and then I destroyed all the episodes going, can I has more? Blink, 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 blink. And I enjoyed the first 2 episodes a lot. That's why I was like, all right, I can't do this waiting shit. So I went ahead and devoured it all.
Okay. Kind of sound like a vampiric elder beast there.
Yep. I have 5 more days until the next episode, which is Cyborg Patrol. What's great is, like the first episode is called Pilot. Second episode is Donkey Patrol. Third episode is Puppet Patrol. Fourth episode is Colt Patrol, Paw Patrol, Doom Patrol, Therapy Patrol, Danny Patrol, Jane Patrol, Hair Patrol, Francis Patrol. Next one is Cyborg Patrol. And
then one after that is Soul Patrol.
And then after that is Expecto Patronus. So in this they have Crazy Jane, Cyborg's in this one, Robot Man, Rita, I can't remember, I think it's Elastigirl, I think it's Elastigirl, and Larry, Negative Man, and then the Chief. The Chief is played by Timothy Dalton, which is amazing. The main bad guy, which is Mr. Nobody, is played by hold on, I'll remember his name. Alan Tudyk. And he's absolutely amazing.
I hear a lot of good things about Alan Tudyk.
You've seen him in a lot of things. I promise you have.
I know I have, but he's so good. I can barely recognize any of the stuff he does, unless his name appears in the credits.
Right. You remember A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger?
See.
Okay, you remember the guy who was always threatening to gnarl people?
That was him?
That was Alan Tudyk. He was Wash in Serenity. Let's see. Alan Tudyk. He was K8, I believe. Let's see. He's the Joker in the Harley Quinn TV series. He was K2SO in... Wait a minute. That's not right. He was, K2SO in... what the hell is the name of that Star Wars movie? Rogue One. He was the robot.
Yes.
He is going to be Iago in Aladdin, the new one.
Wait.
Yeah,
he's playing Iago?
Yes.
They couldn't get Gilbert Gottfried to play Iago again?
Gilbert Gottfried is currently a pariah.
Oh, man.
Yep. He is Ludo in King River Butterfly and King Butterfly in Star vs. the Forces of Evil.
He was Sonny in iRobot.
Mm-hmm. Danger Boat and The Tick. He's Gary in the 3rd season of Santa Clarita Diet, which they canceled that. Pissed about that. Pastor Vale in Arresting Development. Billy, Dr. Clargy, Tony Tintin in American Dad. Young Justice, he's Green Arrow. Knowsmore and Ralph Breaks the Internet. Big Hero 6, he was Ray? Guy
in Hat,
and Bystander. Deadpool 2, he was Luke, the redneck that they stole the truck from. That what's his face stole the truck from?
That freaking Cable comes in and crashes and steals the
truck. Yeah, Matt Damon was the other redneck, by the way. Yeah, dude, like Matt Damon has the weirdest fucking cameos. It's ridiculous. Like how many cameos Matt Damon actually has.
He was in freaking Thor Ragnarok.
Yes. Dirk Gently, Holistic Detective Agency. By the way, if you ever get a chance to watch that, that's actually really good.
Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency?
Yes. The Adventures of Puss in Boots. He was a voice in that. Injustice 2, Green Arrow, cult classics with Capture Van Dien, another forgotten Hector. Adventure Time, he was Chatsberry. He had a web series called Con Man for 2 years, which was really funny. There was apparently a video game too, which is really funny. Trip Tank, he was Bootfucker, Scrappy, and Dr. Shrax. Robot Chicken, he was Jeff Foxworthy, Pinky, and Jarrell.
Hold on.
Yes.
You're just gonna scroll past the fact that he played a character named Bootfucker?
Yes. Bootfucker.
Put that on your resume.
Hey man. Paycheck's a paycheck. In Zootopia, he was Duke Weaselton. Star Wars Battlefront, he played K2SO. Oddball and the Penguin, Trumbo. Maze Runner the series, he was Blondie. Rick and Morty, he was Chris. In the Ricks Must Be Crazy. Infinite Crisis, he was Arrow. Newsreaders, Assassin's Blade.
He was in a lot of stuff.
He was in a lot of things.
We're gonna be here for a bit because I'm looking at his IMDb.
Right?
And it goes on.
Son of Batman, Welcome to Suburbia. He was really... God, he's been in a lot. Holy shit. His really biggest role that everybody remembers him from is he was Wash in Firefly.
He was Tucker in Tucker Dale vs. Evil.
Yes, which, by the way, is a brilliant fucking movie.
If you have not seen Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, watch that shit.
It's so good.
I highly recommend you watch it.
I agree.
It's on Netflix. Go watch it. It's just great.
So great.
We're not even going to spoil anything. Just go watch that shit.
Exactly. PG porn. He's Bob. Let's see. Wow,
that's enough. Quit reading the list.
Hold on.
We gotta move on.
That's terrifying. We haven't even gotten to the roles that I know him from. You know?
Uh-huh.
A Knight's Tale, Frasier. 55 Miles from Normal, Patch Adams. 28.
Look at this, folks. He's still going.
28 days. That was. Oh, 28 days. I know what that is.
Dude, next topic.
I don't got one. You're up next. Oh, I was still talking about Doom Patrol. Duh. Show's really fucking fantastic. Brendan Fraser is the voice and the actual, character of Cliff, Robot Man, and he's killing it. He absolutely is. Like, when you actually see Fraser on screen, he's still killing it. He's getting old, chubby, but, I mean, he's old at this point. He's fucking killing it. Oh, God, it's really good. The guy that got to play Cyborg is a hell of a lot better Cyborg than we saw in those movies.
Shame.
Why do you say that?
I still haven't seen Justice League, but from what I could tell, he's mostly pretty much of a wall of a character.
Yeah.
Like, he's just there. Hardly ever emotes.
Yeah, you know how Cyborg is, after a while, he's okay with what he is.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, he's like, I'm a machine, but I'm still Victor Stone.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not like that in the movie. He's just kind of meh. And in Doom Patrol, he's very teenagery. And it's good. The actress that got to play Rita looked like she just came out of a 1940s movie. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And Larry is fucking hysterical. Negative Man, I love Larry. The story arc with Larry is really solid. And I'm not a big fan of the whole LGBTQ story arcs, and it's not because I have a problem with them. It's because they just don't interest me. But Larry was a pilot in the 50s, and he was gay, but he was married, had kids, and he was living that life because, back then, if you were gay, you were a pariah.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was hiding, and the person he was in love with, John, was it John? Yeah, it was John. They were very secret about it, and he finally gets closure in that story in the most recent episode, and it was like, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not crying because of this. I am crying because of this. Crazy Jane is a fun character. She has 62 different distinct personalities, and each one of them have different metahuman abilities. Yes. Jane is the primary. She doesn't have any metahuman abilities that we know of. But she is the one who drives the bus, mostly, whenever, not needed. Like, whenever she needs to fight, Hammerhead takes over. If she needs to teleport, and another one takes over. And she is the primary. And they have a whole episode of inside of her, and in the subway, as she calls it, where in her mind, where all the other Janes live, or where all the other personalities live. And there's a great part because Cliff is in her head too, trying to help her. And he's sitting there next to Driver 8, which is the subway train driver, and sitting on a bench waiting for somebody to come up and talk to him so he can help Jane. And up comes Hammerhead, and he looks at her and goes, "Hammerhead? Oh man, I don't think I've ever been this happy to see you before in my life." And she walks up to him and punches him. "What the hell are you doing here?" It's like, oh, that's awesome. That is amazing. And what's great, even better, is all the personalities are not played by the actress that plays Crazy Jane. They're all different people in her head. Like, they all look different. Different actresses and everything. Which is amazing.
Intriguing.
So, I highly suggest people should check out Doom Patrol. It's well worth watching. So, what do you got?
You finally see what's it called, Love, Death, and Robots yet?
I have not watched it.
Watch it. You can literally pump that shit out in less time than you could watch Avengers Endgame.
That's true. I haven't sat down to watch it yet. I want to, but I just haven't sat down to watch it yet.
They're all a bunch of 8 to 10 minute shorts. There's I think there's 10. There's at least 10 of them. I think there's maybe at most 18. But yeah, you can knock that stuff in less than 2 hours.
Has this ever happened?
And it is all just amazing. Amazing feats of animation, both 3D and 2D. And it's, as the title all implies, each one of them involves love, death, or robots. Sometimes a combination of the three, sometimes all three.
Okay. I'm gonna have
it runs the gambit of of your typical storytelling stuff. Like, it gets super experimental at some points. At some points, it just tells you a quick story between a what if scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, I swear to God, I was watching the pilot of a Saturday morning cartoon. Dude, you need to watch this shit.
I will.
Anybody in the chat or who's listening to this podcast, if you have not seen Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix, please go watch it. Also, don't watch it with your parents unless they're into shows with dangly human bits.
Right then. I watched Don't
because
Watch
people be naked.
I watched a couple episodes of Don't Watch This. It's another anthology series on Netflix, and it was alright. I got about 2 episodes in, and I'm like, meh.
Don't watch this.
Yeah, it was alright. I also watched The Chambers, which was fucking weird as shit, but good. Ultraman was outstanding. Let's see.
I'm catching up on Shield Hero. For any of you folks who are like, I thought the guys also talked about sci-fi and comics. Where's the anime?
We've talked about a lot of anime, Tony.
Oh yeah, we have. Well, we talked about One Punch Man.
One Punch!
One Punch!
Yep.
There are other shows, like The Rise of the Shield Hero.
I've heard mixed things about that.
It is a good show.
Okay.
The only thing that people consider, what's it called? The only thing that people considered controversial about it was the fact that the main character has slaves on his team. And if you want to get into that, he kind of has no choice.
Okay.
This is one of those. It's another isekai anime. Main character gets transported to another world. But it's one of those other worlds where you're the chosen hero and you must save us all from the overcoming plight. But here's a spin-off. He's not the only chosen one. There are several.
Oh boy.
There's and apparently this is a annually recurring thing. You've got the person who's supposed to be the sword hero,
the
spear hero,
the spear hero. Gotcha.
A bow and arrow hero, and lastly the shield hero. But for some odd reason, the shield hero doesn't get as much praise as everybody else does. Now, I haven't read the manga, nor have I gotten far enough into the anime to find out why, but literally every person in the entirety of the show, well, not the entirety of the show, in the entirety of the kingdom where the main character lands in first, just dumps on the shield hero. Like, he gets the shittiest end of the shit stick.
Yeah.
And that's like from day one. But he's still, since he is still one of the chosen saviors, he's still required to, when it's time to fight evil, go out and fight evil. But he's a shield hero. And one of the requirements for the heroes is that they cannot equip any other weapon besides their legendary weapon.
Which is a shield.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
So that means he's all defense and no offense.
Does he learn how to use offense with the shield?
He gets some offensive spells, but they're not exactly ones that he can use all the time. So he literally has to have other people other people fight on his team or his party. Basically, he's a defensive tank. With no option, with very few offensive options. So he has to have an off tank do all the DPSing for him.
Nice.
Something happens. I'm not gonna. Well, this is like the first episode. When they're divvying up the teams, he gets stuck with practically nobody on his team. And then somebody volunteers. I will be on your team, shield hero. And turns out it is the king's daughter.
Uh-huh.
Pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they go out, and turns out that he literally can't do any damage to any monsters. Like, he literally has to have someone do all the fighting for him. But once he levels up, he can contribute a little more to each fight. And every time they kill a monster and take apart, he can absorb it into a shield and get other kinds of shields. It's very JRPG-ish of the show. But later on, like literally the next day, the King's Knights come to arrest the shield hero because there's a conspiracy going on saying that he raped the king's daughter.
Yeah, I heard about it. There was kind of a stink about that.
He didn't touch her.
Yeah.
They slept in separate beds. Like, I think they even slept in separate rooms even. But yeah, there's a clear enemy in this game. One of them is definitely the princess. But because of her actions, he's basically like, everybody treats him like shit. Nobody wants to deal with him unless he like physically threatens them with violence. Like, because his defense is so high, a lot of the lower level monsters don't do any more damage to him. So he literally walks around with them munching onto him underneath his cape. And whenever somebody doesn't give him business, he opens up his cape. They see the monsters nomming on him, and he's like, "You don't want to be stuck with these, do you?" And they finally give him business.
Nice.
So eventually, it gets to the point where he has to level up. Like, no matter what, he's got to get stronger so he can take on the next wave of enemy monsters. So this is where the second controversy comes in. He goes to a slave trader. Because literally nobody else would party with him, not even if he paid them. And he goes to a slave trader, and he ends up purchasing a demi-human. A beast human character or whatever. Her name is Raftalia. She is a high contender for best girl in the Waifu Wars. Fight me, I don't care. She is probably going to be my number one contender until I find somebody new. I'm sorry, Rem from RE0. You've been replaced. Raftalia is new best girl.
Okay.
Anyway. Shenanigans ensue. They develop a relationship that's deeper than master servant, and in fact he hardly ever even really treats her as a slave.
Yeah.
But the fact that she is still his slave comes up a lot in some of the episodes, like just to dirty his name even further. But it's still a good show to watch.
Huh.
Add it to your list. I recommend it.
I probably will crack into it at some point.
It's a nice different take on the isekai anime that have been in everybody.
Gotcha. Baki Season 2 will be starting the 30th on Netflix.
Oh.
Yeah.
Season 2 in 2 days?
Yep. Season 2.
Sweet.
So we get to see more ridiculousness.
More gods among men tanking hits that would kill lesser men.
Right? That one Yakuza dude? What the f was that? His fucking face was missing.
Like, parts of his face were gone, and like this dude is so tough. He gets a tattoo of this one folklore character because it was on the back of this one super badass dude who was in history.
No.
Here's the thing, but
hold on. His clan.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's get the story right. His clan was the group he was part of. Their original, their creator, the guy who started it all, when he was a kid, another clan wiped out his. And he was saved by just some random stranger who the other group attacked. And he wouldn't let him look in the basket that he was protecting with the kid in it.
Right. Right.
And he fought them all off and, like, beat them until they retreated and died protecting the kid. So as a symbol of honor to the man who protected them, they get, every head of the clan gets a tattoo of that man as a demon, because he was like fighting like a demon, carrying a basket on his back. And he's like, it's not complete yet. And they're like, what are you talking about? And then he goes to a rival clan's group and, like, kills them all. And he's got scars and cuts on the tattoo. And he's like, now it's complete.
The tattoo was not complete unless he was scarred to hell and back on it.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the person who was inspired to be. That's how badass this dude is.
Right? And so, like, I rewatched all the earlier stuff. Baki the Grappler, which was kind of a retelling of the OVA we watched in the day growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember the Shinogi fight, right?
Oh, yeah.
Loved the Shinogi fight. They changed it's pretty much the same fight, but they changed, like, the after conversation that him and Shinogi have. They changed it. It wasn't nearly as good. Like, in the OVA, he's like, why didn't you just break my arm? And he's like, well, I mean, if I'd have done that, you'd have just come out with me with kicks, and at that point in time, I just couldn't handle it. And it's like,
I was
wow.
already getting tired, so I figured I'd just knock you out.
Right? Yeah, they didn't put that particular conversation in there.
Mm.
And I was like, that's disappointing. They have some kind of similar conversation like that. But it would have been so much better if they'd have just done that conversation. That, and you get to meet Shinogi's brother, who is creepy as fuck.
Anyone related to that dude is guaranteed creepy.
Yep. And, you get to see more of his father, and his father is a complete jackass. Complete and utter jackass. And it's like, oh, please, let's just kill this asshole already. And you find out that Baki has a half-brother.
A half-brother?
Yeah, his dad got busy with an American chick and created another, somebody named, like, I think his name was Jack or something like that. And before...
Is Jack jacked?
He is, but he's chemically jacked. Yes. And they have a fight, and Baki beats him until he vomits up all the chemicals and ends up, deflated. And it's so good. Like, it's so bad, it's terrible, but it's great at the same time. You're like, Maname. Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to talk about, or if you want to read a manga or watch an anime where ridiculous dudes perform ridiculous feats of awesomeness, please check out the Baki series.
Yes.
Like,
also, JoJo.
The creator, and well, JoJo to an extent, but definitely Baki, because the creator, he's one of those guys who's like, he fell in love with martial arts so much, like
yes.
he'll draw like the most insane level of detail when it comes to anatomy.
Yes.
And the way he does action scenes is just amazing. Like, the line of action, how you can physically feel the impact when you see some of these punches and kicks.
Yes.
How you can, like, it's just how even just reading panels could build up tension in each of the fights. You have to read this manga and definitely watch the show.
Yes.
If anything, it'll get you into the gym.
Exactly. It sure will get you in the gym. You've been
like a lot of people contribute Dragon for their motivations, Dragon Ball Z for their motivation to get into the gym. This anime will get you into the gym, or at least interested in like taking up boxing or something.
I'm with you on that one. I'd like to interrupt this to recite something for you. I like big books, and I cannot lie. The other readers can't deny. When a book walks in with a good plot, based and a big spine in your face, you get interested. Want to get out your notepad, because you noticed that book was dense. Deep in the book I'm reading, I'm hooked and I can't stop speeding. Oh, baby, I want to get that literature and Instagram that picture. My teacher tried to train me, but that book you've got makes me so brainy. Baby got books.
Oh, Lord.
That's amazing. Yes, sir. Yep. Baki's amazing. You should all watch it.
Well then, should we move on to the meat and potatoes of today's podcast?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get on to what we're really talking about. What we are going to really talk about, because there's some things that we need to go ahead and cover.
Oh, dear. All right, so earlier you heard us talk about Black Lightning.
Yep.
And superhero shows and movies and how superheroes just need a superhero. Well, some time ago, Zord mentioned Black Lightning on Netflix. And me being a nerd, of course, it garnered my interest, so I decided to watch it. First season, it had its issues.
Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and interrupt you because I have to read this ad from 1964 for WD-40. It's a WD-40 ad from 1964. If you don't know what WD-40 is, shame on you.
Sir, are we sponsored by WD-40?
I think we should be. Do you have tight nuts or a rusty tool? Then use WD-40 in the man-sized pressure pack. Standard 9-inch high to 1.5 diameter, complete with red knob. Makes old tools look new again. Tools slide in and out with ease. Lubricates dry passageways. Makes screwing a pleasure. Gives better penetration. Buy some, try some. Keep a spare pack in your car for emergencies. WD-40. It's good stuff. Now you can continue.
Where are you getting these random... Okay, never mind. I don't want to know, because it probably, I don't know, erased the joy in finding it myself. Basically, long story short, I enjoyed watching the first season of Black Lightning.
So did I.
I will say, as a black person, I was a little perturbed by some of the content in the show.
Why is that?
Well, let's talk about the main villain, Tobias Whale.
Alrighty. Go ahead.
For those of you who do not know, Tobias Whale is the main villain of the Black Lightning franchise so far in the TV show. He is an albino black dude who is, I don't think he's a meta, but he's an enhanced, right?
Yeah, more or less he's enhanced.
Yeah. He's been given this serum that slows down his aging and gives him, like, increased strength and durability. So he's basically an albino version of Luke Cage. This guy, I don't know if anybody else is a person of color or just like somebody who's experienced this, a person of this type. But if you want to talk about someone who is a self-hating black dude, look no further than this guy, Tobias Whale, because he just says some of the most racist stuff. The stuff that comes out of his mouth had me blushing.
I was looking around going, I didn't say it.
Zord was watching him, and he was like making sure that there were no like black gangs looking in his windows. We like, I mean, the things that came out of this guy's mouth, the fact that A, someone wrote this stuff, and B, he had to act it out and say it with the straightest look on his face.
Right?
Just it makes me wonder.
Right?
And so, after completing season 2, Zord and I have decided to compile a list of some of our favorite quotes that our favorite, most racist quotes that Tobias Whale has said so far in seasons 1 and 2 of Black Lightning.
Already.
Now, I've got quite a few. I'm not sure how about you. I'm not sure how many you've gotten.
I've got none. This is all on you because you're the black dude.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Dude, straight up. I'm not
right.
saying any of that shit. I'm just gonna laugh.
Okay, okay. So here's the thing. These, honestly, I didn't go back to season 1 because reasons, I don't know why, but the stuff that he says in season 2 is just gold. Okay,
right.
so let's see. Here's one quote. Let's see. Oh yeah. Open those thick lips of yours and use your white voice.
Damn.
Okay, so for context, he had recently hired this black kid.
Something green.
Ted Tom Green or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he hired him basically to be his new secretary. So he gives him a chance to answer his phone for him, and those are the first words that comes out of his mouth once he hands the phone to this kid.
Wow.
But when you're being paid like $100,000 an hour, he did it.
I got nothing.
I got no. Oh, here's what he did get though. Now this isn't a quote, but this is what they. But this is also what happened in the same scene. They were both sitting down eating dinner together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what he served his new secretary?
I missed that. What did he serve him?
An upscale version of chicken and waffles.
That's fucked up.
Chicken and waffles. Okay. For those of you who are not familiar with chicken and waffles is like probably one of the blackest meals you could ever serve, because there are actually a few joints littered around across the U.S. that serve specifically chicken and waffles, and they are black joints. Oh God! And this is okay. What was a cherry on the top of that scene? It was actually vegan chicken or tofu chicken, because the guy is vegan. But still, the fact that it was chicken, he served a black kid chicken and waffles for dinner. Oh, okay. Now this one's gonna need a little bit more context. In the show, there is a reverend, and he is he's one of the outspoken peoples who speaks on the injustices that happens throughout the show, especially the things that Tobias Whale is a part of, because Tobias Whale, not only is he basically evil Lex Luthor, he's also the local gang leader, though there's no paperwork or anything that ties him to that stuff. It's just a public secret, you know. But anyway, Tobias has basically been trying to get the Reverend to move out, so he can claim his land for some reason or another. I forget what the purpose was. But eventually he basically sends out one of his assassins to go and take out the Reverend. Later on, when we see the news that they're hospitalized, this quote comes out of Tobias's mouth. These Negroes would hold a vigil for an apple that fell from a tree.
Yeah, that's not even some of the worst shit he says, though. That's the bad part. That is some of the tamer stuff.
I know. I'm just building it up.
You're building it up.
I'm just giving them a taste of what this guy is capable of.
All right.
Now, if you want to jump in, feel free, sir.
Nah, man, I ain't even gonna fuck with that.
Okay, you're gonna commentate, but you're not gonna contribute?
I'm commentating, but I'm not contributing. I'm a white dude on the internet. If I say anything even remotely like that, I'm doomed.
Sir,
it doesn't matter.
You have my
it
one
doesn't
episode
matter.
permission.
It
You have my one
matter.
episode permission to say something.
Doesn't even matter.
You get a pass.
It doesn't even matter. Not even gonna fuck with that one.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see here. Oh, this one is one of my favorites. The only thing worse than a loudmouth Negro is a loudmouth white woman.
Oh God, who did he say that to? I forgot about that one.
There's this lady who's she's basically a mad scientist.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she helped create the original metas.
Yep. And she looks at him and is like, yeah, and what the fuck you gonna do about it?
Right. Like, this guy will just say it like to your face and not even care, because he's just that kind of guy.
Yeah.
But man, oh boy. I was trying to remember another one, but basically it involved involved him something about being served watermelon flavored Kool-Aid. But
yeah.
I forgot what that was about.
So the one that always cracked me up, and I'm gonna say it.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Is you better pick. He looks at one of them and says, "You better tuck your lip in. What is it? You better. Big lip Negroes need to tuck their lips in before they trip over it." And he said that, and I'm like, whoa. Holy shit.
now again, this guy is black.
Yes.
But he's an albino black dude.
Which he's been catching shit for that his entire life.
Right.
But I mean, and if you're dark skinned, he hates you even more. Holy crap.
If you're dark skinned or if you're just ignorant or ghetto, then you are definitely like on the bottom of his shit list.
Yeah, with what was her name? The white girl? I can't remember her name.
His right hand man.
Yeah, poison. Not poison. Cyanide.
Cyanide, yeah.
He's like never send a lazy big lip Negro to do a white girl's job. And I'm like, holy shit, dude, what the fuck?
I remember that.
I'm like, you can't say shit like that. What the hell?
You can't say that on television?
You can't say that on television? Oh my god.
Let's remind you folks, Black Lightning, it originally aired on TV. The
still does.
CW, in fact.
It still
still is on TV, so Netflix is not its original home.
No, it is not. Keep going, Ty.
Oh, God. Let's see. And this is I don't have a lot jotted down, but this one is also it kind of struck a chord with me. Basically, he's torturing this one black dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what the context was for it, but he ends up killing him in the process.
Uh-huh.
So he says, they don't make these shiftless Negroes like they used to. Just a little bit of discipline and they break.
I got nothing for that whole thing, man. I was like, what in the actual wow?
That's like, who wrote these quotes for this man to say?
I know, right?
Who's the writer on this show? I need to look this up, because the stuff that comes out of this guy's mouth, oh man, like in any other situation, he'd get a beating, like at least a beating, from all sides.
Right? Holy crap! And the actor is Corden, or Cordon, I believe his name is pronounced.
Let's see. Here there's a Crondon.
Is it Crondon or Corden?
Well, it's Krodon.
I think it's Corden. Marvin Jones III Corden. He's a rapper. And
Wait, he's a rapper.
Yeah.
Huh. I was an actor.
He's.
I'm pretty sure I've seen him in something else.
Group Strong Arm Ready. So, but yeah, wow, he is. I knew he was albino, but he is albino. Like,
yeah,
wow. Let's see. In addition to his work as a solo rapper and leader of the underground hip hop group Strong Arm Ready, he was written for the likes of Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and Exhibit. So he's a writer also. Interesting. Good on him, mate. And now he is Tobias Well in Black Lightning.
And he plays the character very well. I don't know much of Tobias Whale as far as his comic book counterpart goes, but he plays the character extremely well, I feel. There's a lot of bravado with his character. He's a very imposing and intimidating person.
Yeah, that's pretty much how he is in the comics. He's very imposing, intimidating. He tries to throw his weight around. I mean, he gets whooped because, he's a bad guy, but...
Oh, yeah. Bad guys go get whooped. Absolutely. Kingpin got a few beatings in.
Kingpin was always white,
though. Does it matter?
No. But I figured I'd just throw that out there.
Just throw that out there.
I'm just going to throw that out there.
Actually, no. Kingpin was black one time.
In that terrible...
in that
Ben
terrible
Affleck movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bat Devil. Affleck Devil.
We don't talk about
Daredevil.
That one.
Yeah, we don't talk about that version of Daredevil.
It looks like the majority, based on their names, okay, a good chunk of the writers were black.
Let's see. I'm trying to find them myself, but I'm not... let's see. I'm looking on the IMDb page. There's a lot of cast people to go through.
Oh yeah, dude.
Jesus.
Duke Elliott, the black dude that works for the ASA. He is just great at doing like a evil character.
Oh yeah.
You know what else? What other movie he was in? And it didn't dawn on me until I just saw the picture.
Who?
Duke Elliott, the guy.
Or what? What?
He was in Predator and Commando.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Holy crap. He was in an episode of the Boondocks.
Oh wow. I just looked up something very interesting. speaking of actors here. Let's see. Uh-oh. Did something happen? Yo, Zord, you still there?
I'm muted. Damn it! I forgot to unmute myself. Okay, continue.
There we go. Okay. So I was actually looking up other cast members. And let's see. You remember that one episode where I was like in season 2 where this guy shows up to Jefferson Pierce's office, and he's like, "Hey, dude, I can help you get your job back."
Yeah. That was Meteor Man.
Yeah, it was Robert Townsend, aka Meteor Man. Guess what Meteor Man's civilian name is?
What's that?
Jefferson Reed.
Jefferson Reed? That's pretty cool.
Jefferson Pierce and Jefferson Reed in the same room. And just seeing Robert Townsend again, like, it just reminded me, like, well, no, this Meteor Man. By the way, Meteor Man, another. Okay, it's not Marvel level material, but it's still a funny movie to watch if you're looking for like, comedic superhero movies to watch. Like, if you like Blank Man with Damon Wayans, watch Meteor Man.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here's one.
Mm-hmm.
No, I love black people. This is Tobias Wells. Well, no, I love black people. I hate incompetent, thick-lipped, scratch where it don't itch Negroes like you. These fucking quotes. Damn. Holy shit.
Whew.
And that was in the first season.
God, that was season 1.
Yeah.
God damn.
Because Lala's in it.
Oh, Lala. Oh.
Latavius. Oh my god. Yeah, no, this is I see what they were going for. I do. But I have other issues with the show.
Uh-huh. I think I know where this is going to come from, but...
Mainly, my biggest beef in the second season is they took a white female superhero who's always been a superhero and maybe an anti-hero for a short period of time and made her into a racist villain. Like, you know, white supremacist racist villain. And that's really kind of disrespectful. They're taking all of the outsider stuff because Moldavia, the other country where Geoforce comes from is
Markovia.
Yeah, Markovia is now a villain hideout. Now, at this point, they could have Geoforce in the show, no problem. They could have... Well, they can't have Looker anymore because she's a villain, which is really kind of fucking insulting. Because you take this white female superhero and turn her into a racist white female villain, and that's not cool at all.
Yeah, and according to you, what also helps drive that nail further into the coffin is that not only was she not a villain in the comic books canon, but she also worked alongside Black Lightning on some of the
for a lot of things.
Events.
For a lot of time, she worked besides Black Lightning as a friend and a fellow hero, and they turn around and make her into this villain, and it's really kind of shitty.
Now, I'm all for creative differences when it comes to your story evolving and whatnot, but when it comes to like shaping characters or changing characters to fit your narrative to the point where they're nearly unrecognizable,
Yep.
that's going a few steps too far. Like,
I agree.
I'm not that big of a Black Lightning comic book fan, and I certainly had no idea who Looker was beyond what I saw from the show. And if you hadn't said anything, then I wouldn't have put too much stock into it. But yeah, guys, no matter what form of storytelling you're going to tell, if you are going to transform a character and completely disregard everything that has been considered canon to the point where the character is no longer recognizable, or they start doing things that contradicts what they would normally do, you're going in the definite wrong direction.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. You're going in the wrong direction. Because instead of making her an ally like she always has been, they've basically taken her and honestly, it's insulting to the character. It really is. I enjoyed season 2. I love the father that they meet during that story arc. He's actually a deaf actor, and they use sign language. Which is awesome. I love any use of sign language in TV shows, working with deaf characters and stuff like that. I think it's really cool because it's exposure to something we don't know very well, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I don't know where I was going with that.
Basically, when you're given free reign of a franchise, don't fuck things up too much to the point where people are just there to serve as your narrative plot points, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't forget where some of these characters come from. Don't just insert them just for convenience sake.
Yeah. Do something creative. Create a new villain. Something. Don't mutilate a superhero to try to create some demented sense of race wars.
Also, and after I did some digging on Looker and her abilities and whatnot, none of her powers in the show reflect what her powers are in actual continuity.
Exactly. They stole her name and gave her different powers, and this is Looker. And oh, great.
This is a character who might be a Looker, but she's not the Looker, certainly.
Exactly. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on it. I didn't appreciate them doing that, but I appreciate the show. I appreciate what it represents because I enjoy it. I understand why they go to the point that they go to with some of the lines that comes out of people's mouth. Because it's supposed to be representing like the inner city black culture, I guess. I think, and it's cool. I like the show. I've been a fan of Black Lightning since I read him during Infinite Crisis. I picked him up in one of the crossover issues, and then I kept picking up his comics because I enjoyed his world. I liked Lightning and Thunder, which are his daughters, Jennifer and Nessa. I liked what he had to offer. Gambi, by the way, is the most badass character of the entire show.
Oh, and yeah. If you can't have Alfred, get Gambi.
Yes, and it's because Gambi is like Alfred. He is the guy who builds the suits. He takes care of Jefferson and the family. He takes care of them. And he's a fucking merciless killer. I mean, holy crap! There's Season 2, somebody tries to kill him, and he fucking just hunts their asses down. Like
if you take Liam Neeson's character in Taken, and Bruce Willis's character in what was those movies? Red 1 and Red 2.
Yep.
And mix them all up in a blender and put them in an Alfred suit.
That's Gambi.
You get Gambi.
Yes, Gambi is awesome, and I'm glad they did not tokenize him. I'm glad they kept him.
I'm glad too.
I'm glad they kept him as an old white dude.
He's just an old white dude who happens to be a super badass mega spy.
Right? And it makes sense to make him an old white dude regardless, because he was there during the 70s and the 80s working for the government. You know?
Not too many black government workers back then.
Not at all. And then he stuck around because of what happened and took care of Jefferson.
He felt responsible, and this is him atoning for being a part of that process.
Yep. And it's good stuff. It is. I really do enjoy it. I wish they would tone it back a little bit. But that's just my opinion. But I'm going to bring up one more thing, and then we're going to wrap this up. The argument him and Mike Lowry had over the school.
Yes.
I agree with both of them.
Yes.
It's like, I don't disagree with either one of you.
They both have equal arguments on both sides of the table. Like, from Lowry's standpoint, I legit see him as a guy doing his job. Like, I don't see race being injected into it, but it is convenient for the narrative.
Yeah.
Now, and in Jefferson's point of view, yes, that is one of the biggest problems, like, most, if not all, inner city schools face. Kids who are a part of the system, but are not part of the problem, and are disregarded and processed just as much as, or just as harshly as the problematic people. Exactly.
Right. And
even some of the problematic kids aren't given a second chance. Like, if anybody in high school, you'll just know that group of kids that always got into trouble, always started fights whenever there was a public assembly, like, just for no reason, just wanted to start shit. Garfield High, which is the school that takes place in the Black Lightning universe, where Black Lightning works at, is one of those inner city schools where that was a normal occurrence, but because he and the teachers that worked in there believed that they could turn their community around, ended up becoming one of the schools where it was not only just a safe space for the students, but it was a way for them to transform them into contributing members of society, because at the end of the day, these are just kids. If you give them a chance to shape them into something to be better, they can be better.
Absolutely.
And if you just throw them out in the streets will just eat them up and spit them back out.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. And the one thing that I hope Jefferson does, since, spoiler alert, he saved Mike's job, is I hope he looks at him and says, you need to start giving these kids a better chance.
Yeah, you know? they need to have a scene where they have a legit heart-to-heart.
Yeah.
Instead of just talking at each other.
Exactly. Like, literally, I could have taken your job, but I am not as available as I need to be, and you are, and you need to start doing it this way, because remember, I saved your job. I hate to say play that card, but he needs to play that card and make a point.
Yeah.
So, but I agree with both of their point of views. Absolutely.
And Lowry's argument is something that it's a hot button target argument that's been throughout all of the U.S., especially recently. Like, white people get the shit into the sticks too. As a black person, I understand that. I've known plenty of friends who haven't grown up with a silver spoon in their mouths, like, and they haven't even heard of the phrase white privilege until people started spewing it out left and right.
Yep.
You, Zord, definitely are one of them.
Yep. My parents did what they could for me.
They did.
And they worked hard. They worked hard. They did their the best they could, and I'm not mad at them for that.
You get dealt the hand of fate that fate deals you.
Exactly.
And you just have to deal.
Yep. And blaming somebody because of their skin color is not the way to do it.
It's an easy target.
Yeah, it is.
But just because it's easy doesn't make it the right one.
Exactly. Have you noticed most of our conversations degrade into don't treat people differently because their skin color is different? Don't be a fucking twat to somebody because of melanin levels.
Don't be an asshole just because I look different from you.
Exactly. So we're going to leave it off with that. Don't be a fucking twat because somebody looks different.
Exactly.
And on that note, we're going to try to actually have some different commentary next week. Besides...
Some less racially charged commentary.
Yes. We're gonna figure this out so that way we're not always preaching by the end of the show, and come with something a little bit more interesting. If you guys want us to talk about something, please throw it in the comment section. If there's something you want us to do or something like that, just let us know in the comment section.
If there is a soapbox that you wish for us to stand upon and discuss, mention what it is below, and we may not be the most expert of it, but we will talk about it.
Yep. So on that note, we're going to say goodnight. Thank you everybody for coming out and listening. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. And
follow us on our respective social medias if you feel so inclined.
Yep. And we'll talk with y'all later. Bye.
Love, peace, and chicken grease.